Hi, Miss Thompson. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. We're here to talk about your husband, Tom. He was recently diagnosed with aphasia.
hmm
So to start out, I just want to go over the basics of what aphasia is to make sure you have a good understanding of it.
Okay.
All right. There are all kinds of different types of aphasia, but they all affect the way a person interprets and formulates a message. The type of aphasia that Tom has affects his reading and his speech. So Tom is understanding what people are saying to him, but he has a hard time expressing the messages he'd like to say to other people. And aphasia is really not that uncommon. About 1 in every 275 individuals has aphasia.
Well, since it's so common, what do some people do to compensate for their deficits?
Well, there are several things. We've already started with the communication wallet, which we all agreed was good for Tom, and it's very common among men because it is so small and easy to access. So in a little bit, I'll discuss some more ways that will benefit Tom's communication. But first, I want to talk about his adequacy and functionality, or his competence in his current language. So right now, when we are speaking, we're using verbal language. So you speak to me, I comprehend what you're saying and interpret it, and you spoken language back to you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just like using one language. Now, when Tom has to communicate, it's almost like using two languages because he has to take in your spoken language, interpret it, and then figure out how to respond back with his visual language, which would be his communication wallet. So it's important that we work on the adequacy and functionality of both of Tom's languages. So back to ways that we can help Tom will be ways that we can help him understanding both languages. So, for example, we need to help him understand what his symbols represent in his wallet. Some of the symbols can be very vague and confusing. An example of this would be his symbol for help is a red cross, where the American Red Cross helps people, but this needs to be generalized over any type of help that Tom needs. So if he needs help carrying something, he can use that symbol. Also, if he needs help tying his shoe, he could also use that symbol. So another way we can help Tom out is for you to actually use the wallet. So for example, if y'all were to go to the movies one night, if that's something you do frequently, then you could use the wallet to pay for the movie ticket, go purchase popcorn, and then the next time you go, he can use his wallet because he's seen you model this and would be more comfortable using it after seeing it used by you.
Okay.
So not only is it important for Tom to be able to communicate with us comfortably, it's important for us to be able to make communication to Tom easier for him. So for example, what's something that y'all do on a daily basis?
Before bed every night, we usually watch TV.
Okay, that's a great example. So to give him the option to pick what's on the television, what you want to watch, what you can do is get a piece of paper and you can find out what's on TV at that time. And you can write down each show. And as you're writing down each show, you can say it out loud. So say you're writing down Everybody Loves Raymond, or The Jersey Shore, or Biggest Loser. So you're saying it out loud as he watches you write this down. Then you can hand him the list and he can choose what he wants to watch. So while Tom has trouble with reading, because you have read off the words and he knows that it's related to television shows, he has a context, which helps him with his reading.
Okay, I think I can do that.
Okay, good. And one other way to help Tom understand what you're saying is when you're asking questions, you can verify that you're asking a question and not making a statement. Oftentimes people with aphasia have trouble differing the two of these. So if you're asking a yes/no question, after you ask the question, just say yes or no. So he knows he has to respond with a yes or no. So for example, you could ask him, do you want ice cream? Yes or no? And that way he can respond with a yes or no answer.
Okay.
Okay, so we can meet back in a couple more weeks. Do you have any more questions for today?
No.
Okay, well if you think of any, just write them on down and call me with them.
Okay, thank you.